Hey there, seekers of spiritual, tangible results.
Welcome to the no-nonsense zone, where common sense meets the spiritual. I'm Jason Parks.
I'm Emma Romano, your unapologetically real spiritual guides.
We don't sugarcoat, we don't dance around the woo-woo, we just deliver the raw, kick-ass truth.
Join us each episode as we dive deep into the mystical, cut through the bullshit, and show you how to manifest the tangible results you've been craving for.
No fluff, no filters, just two mentors on a mission to elevate your mind, body and soul.
Get ready to transform your life like never before. This is Soul Aligned Results, where spirituality meets the real world. Hello everybody, this is Emma Romano and the amazing
Jason Parks.
We've got a big one for you today, my loves. Order and chaos. I'm going to let the man himself explain to you what this whole thing. Sit down, hold on to your hats, grab a cup of tea, maybe a pen and paper as well. And this is going to be a huge one. Go for it, Jason. Talk to us about order and chaos.
Order and chaos. So this has come about. I mean, I know by the time the podcast comes out, this will be in the past. But it's been interesting in my practice this week. I've noticed a couple of things happening, and Emma and I, we've talked about this a little bit, that the energy of the year as it's unfolding has really it's moved a lot into ethics and about the ethics that we're holding and the integrity that we're holding and how that's being brought forward. But I'm really noticing at the moment that that's shifting from integrity into order. And we're seeing a lot of stark contrast where people are just saying, oh, it's chaos everywhere. Everywhere around me is chaos. And when we look into it, you realize it's like, actually, it's not so much chaos as what's happened in the energy is it's like a pulse. And it's going to keep happening this year, is that from time to time, there's going to be a pulse which surges forward. So if you're surrounded by the foundations of chaos, then when it pulses, that's going to amplify. If you've got order, that's going to amplify. And it's very neutral. The energy is very neutral. It's what you've got in place for it. So that's what I thought we'd talk about today, what that means. And
this is fascinating. This is amazing. So can you please explain to the folks what do you mean by order?
Okay. So order is one of the fundamentals that the soul needs to repair itself. So when the soul contract is put together before we're born, the spirit, the soul, they make an agreement. That is the contract. Now, that agreement is when we come into the world, we're going to do certain things, create certain things. And the reason for that is that the soul itself is quite damaged and bound to the earth existence. It's in a constant cycle of rebirth because it can't escape. It can't return to source. Any practice which is about ending the cycle of reincarnation ultimately ends up with that soul healing. Now, we can do that directly by having a soul aligned practice, which is why we did this podcast in the first place, or we can go from a spiritual path. And the spiritual path is all about denying the world. These are monastic traditions. Like, I deny the world. I get rid of material possessions. I get rid of relationships. I get rid of attachment to body. And ultimately what I do is I just focus in and in and in and in on the spirit until that's all that's left. And then that bit goes. The soul aligned process is that we say, well, you can do that, but you effectively, the spirit gets to go without really fixing the soul. So the soul is kind of cut loose again, and then the soul has to try and work its way through. So what we do is we go, okay, the soul needs certain things to heal itself. It needs warmth, home, connection, order. It needs time in nature. It needs art, beauty, creativity, hobbies, music, dance, all of those things. All those things bring out the quality of life. And that quality of life is quality of life because it's healing the soul. Your soul is the person that has the keys to the manifestation engine. If you want to manifest things in your life, it's the soul that actually can do that really, really well. But you've got to be in alignment with it. If you go through your pain body, you're going to manifest what the pain body wants, which is suffering. But if you do it through the soul, the very process of creating and then experiencing that creation is what heals the soul. So, big theory dump there.
Yeah, I love
But
it. It's good. Yeah.
so order is one of those things, because in order, what we do is that we put everything into alignment. Everything has balance. Everything has a place.
Mm.
Everything is connecting deeply into universal law. And this is how we learn it. We relearn how to interact with universal law through establishing order in our life. Simple ways to do it. Really, if you think about, I always think like a budget is a good one. A budget is a really, really good way to understand the principles of order, because our pain bodies will tell us lies about things like spontaneity.
Mm-hmm.
So we're so like, I need to be free. I need to be spontaneous. I need to be able to do all those things. I said, well, yeah, everybody needs those things, but that's why you need to cultivate order. There's a big focus at the moment. Um, there's a big focus in a lot of people, particularly amongst men, on Stoic ideas, Stoic idealism and principles, and really around that idea about discipline. And it's like, yeah, you need discipline. You don't need discipline. You need order. So
Mm.
discipline springs from order. If you've got your head in alignment with something and you can hold it in space, the discipline happens, you know?
Mm.
I mean, we do it anyway. You get up every day and you go to work whether you want to or not. Why? Because you're in alignment with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just like, well, I like sleeping in a house. I like eating food and I like driving a car.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get up and go to work. And it's as
Mm.
simple as that. So it's very orderly. If you decided that you just wanted to be spontaneous and, follow your bliss, you wouldn't get out of bed. You wouldn't get out of bed. You'd stay in bed.
I think there is a big confusion. I love that we're talking about this, and I'm going to rattle some cages now. Oh, here we go. Right? A lot of women, us beautiful spiritual souls, have this whole thing about I'm surrendering, I'm surrendering, I'm surrendering. What are you surrendering to? Surrender to the wealth, surrender to the health, surrender to the love. But don't just allow your pain body or life to take you somewhere and you don't have any procedures in place to catch you.
Yeah.
And so I just went on this retreat, and Jack and I were invited to go on this retreat, my son Jack, to do our dragon medicine. And the very first thing this woman said on her retreat was, I'm surrendering my retreat over to all you participants. And she lost everybody.
Mm.
And everyone was like, well, what am I paying for? It felt like a girl's trip. And to be honest, if I was going on a girl's trip, there'd be some people in that group that I would not be going on a girl's trip with.
Mm.
And she completely handed over and she thought she was doing the right thing. And I went, no, what you've actually done is you've copped out. You've gone into your absolute feminine disownment. So feminine energy is I will be led. Masculine energy is I will lead. And if you're running an event, guess who's in their masculine energy? It's the people who are running the event.
That's right.
You got to
That's
step up.
exactly it.
You got to be in your beautiful centered masculine energy, and you have to lead because these people want to be led. That's what they're paying for. And it was all about let's just surrender. Let's just surrender. And I think people are confusing surrender. And I think their surrender is taking them into chaos.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
can you hear the cages rattling? Can you hear the
Yeah.
And that's where people, oh, I'm just giving it all over. Why? Why are you giving it all over? Get some order in order.
Yeah. Exactly
Get,
right.
get some procedures. And it's amazing. So I was mentoring this woman after she went into a massive, she knew she fucked up. She knew it. And she's been amazing. She's stepped up. She's great. It was a great mistake because it's the
Yeah.
beginning literally of her business now. and her
Yeah,
business will be
fantastic.
amazing right now. It's great. But the thing was, a few other people who were there, like, I'm too scared now to even run a retreat. I went, no. This is what you do when you run a retreat. You write down the 20 things that could go wrong.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're in Bali, what if the plane crashes? What if everyone gets Bali belly? What if this happens? Now, what's your procedure?
Yeah.
What happens if? They're your orders. And then you can surrender to the magic of the retreat when you're sitting in your beautiful divine masculine energy and leadership. That's the surrender.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Gonna upset
Perfect.
some peeps there. Sorry.
Yeah.
Soz.
Oh, that's all
Sorry,
right.
but not sorry.
Not
Because
sorry.
not sorry, not soz. Because what's going to happen is you're going to have a very average or a met retreat. And now you'd be like, this retreat's going to be goddamn motherfucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And when you've got order in place, you can relax in your own magic of when you're doing things. It's like even when you're a therapist.
Yeah.
You can relax in that, and there's no chaos in your therapy sessions.
Yeah. Exactly right.
Because there's order.
Yeah.
And order doesn't mean you know exactly what's going to happen every second either. That's distorted masculine energy. Oh, here we go with the energies, right? That's distorted masculine energy. That is not what we're talking about. Chaos is, can you explain in your words, Jason, what chaos is?
Chaos is undisciplined creation, unfocused creation.
There you go.
So
And that's exactly what happened at that retreat. She went, here's a creation. I'm not taking charge of it. You have to do it. And it was chaos.
yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
No, that's it. I mean, there's an old joke about that. They say like the definition of a camel is a racehorse designed by a committee.
You have
You
to
know,
explain
and
that to me. I don't
well,
get it.
well, it's like if you've been in those meetings where where nobody's in control of a circumstance, and they go, right, we're going to design a racehorse, and then you look at it and you go, but that's a camel, right? It's got a big curved neck and it's got a hump on its back and it's got knobbly knees and big feet, and
Yeah.
you look at it, you just go, it's just really not what we set out to create, but there it is.
Mm.
And that is chaos. So when you're creating, I mean, I always think one of the best ways to learn this in your life um, is to get yourself a proper budget. Now,
Mm.
before everybody turns off at this point, because as soon as you say that,
That
it's
was
just like,
me.
oh
I was
no,
about to go, oh, I'm out. Yeah.
yeah. But I'll tell you why a budget is a fantastic spiritual tool, right? And especially if you want to manifest things deliberately, you need a budget.
Yes.
That you have to have one, because without those parameters, you will manifest a whole heap of stuff that you don't necessarily want. So it's the budget you want, though, needs to be grounded in fact. So there's a thing, I think they call it a zero balance budget. So the old way of doing budgets, as I learned it, was that you start with an idea and you go, right, okay, I'm going to get, I reckon I'll get paid $2,000. So I write up a budget saying, here's the $2,000, this is where it goes. And then I try and make what money I get fit into that. So if you're self-employed or anything like that, none of that works, because you don't
So
have
true.
that. Works with a wage, kind of, but not well. But what a zero balance budget is that what I'm doing is if I get $1,000, then I put that $1,000 against the various categories, entertainment, groceries, rent, the whatever. So I just put it against them. So this is about energy dynamics, by the way. This is not financial advice, right? This is energy dynamics. So when I have those containers for which the wealth can flow into, what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, I want to be spontaneous. Well, if I decide one night that I want to go out and get dinner because I don't feel like cooking and I don't have a budget, I look in my bank account and I'm going to go, oh, I got $500 in there. No worries. I can just go out and get dinner. Let's go and have dinner. So you go and have dinner, no worries, because you forgot that you got a $485 bill tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's this stress in your life that you didn't need, that you could have avoided. But now you're chasing your tail on that one. So when you have the map about what's coming up where it is, you look at it and you just go, well, I've only got $15 for food. So how about we just eat out what's in the cupboard and that'll do us. You know, we're not going to worry about that because there's a bill tomorrow. And then all that stress that you could have had disappears. So that order gives you containership. It gives you the room to be spontaneous. If you look into your budget and you go, I got $500 sitting there for entertainment, it's like, what are we going to do? Let's go and have dinner and a movie.
Mm.
You know, it's now you've got freedom to move. You know, you can do things. Or maybe it's like, you know, a show comes up and you want to get tickets or something. It's like, go and get tickets. You know, should we get tickets? I don't know. Have we got enough money? Then go and buy tickets. That's what it's for.
You know,
You know?
I started doing this in 2000 and I think it was 18 or 19, and it completely changed my frequency of how much wealth I was making.
Yeah, me too.
Because the year before I made, just full disclosure, I made like 125,000. And then the first year I did that, I made 300 and something. And in my second year, I made 500,000.
Yeah.
And third year, 500, that then I made $1 million, just gotten better and better. It worked. It's, do you know what? I got it from the Barefoot Investor.
Yeah.
And it was like his way. And I didn't realize it was actually spiritual energetics. I had no idea.
If something works, right? Here's the skinny people. If something
Oh,
works,
he's a
right?
skinny. Yeah.
It's only one reason why things work. That is they're in alignment with natural law.
Mm,
But that's why
boom
it works.
chakalaka. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if it's a good system, if somebody's got a good marketing system, budgeting system, business system, dietary system, doesn't matter what it is. If it gets results, it's because it's in alignment with reality. That's what universal law
Mm.
is. Reality in its most absolute form. Otherwise, you're dealing with opinion and belief, and none of that helps.
That's all opinions and beliefs aren't even true. They're just lies.
They're fantasy. Yeah.
They're
So,
fantasy. Yeah.
so what this to talk about this for a minute about the budget, we'll use the budget as an example, right? Because we talk about manifestation. Manifestation is two things. You got to have a tap, you got to have a bucket,
Mm.
right? Now, a bucket, this is where people get it wrong. They get the tap flowing, but they don't have a bucket. There's no containership for that money to exist in. So that money, as an energy that exists to be spent, requires spending.
Mm.
So it will start to create its own ability to be spent. So you will start blowing that money. You will get bills coming in that match the amount of money that's coming in. You might increase your flow, but you'll also increase the inability for you to hold it.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
bucket is the ability for you to hold it. And the best way to do that is put it in your budget. You want to go on a holiday, you stick it in a budget, and then you start putting some money in there. You watch how fast that grows,
Yes. Yeah.
right? It's astonishing how fast that grows. And anything, doesn't matter what it is, that's works with your manifestation because manifestation is happening all the time. Beautiful thing about money, if you're manifesting money, because its nature is to be spent, when you put in a budget, you spend it twice. You take the money, you put it in, I get $1,000, right? And I put that
Mm.
$1,000 into one, say I put it off a holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I go, right, I get that $1,000 and I put it in the holiday bucket. And I go, yep, it's right there. Now, what I've done is I've actually spent the money on a conceptual level.
Yeah.
I've already spent it.
Mm.
Now, because I've already spent it and it's still in existence, it now starts the manifestation process over again because it's like, oh, that space is empty. So now more has to come in because that space is empty. It's already been spent. But
This
I've,
is brilliant.
yeah, so I've spent it in a way that I still get to keep it. That's called investment. So that's
Mm-hmm.
what rich people do. In case you're wondering,
Yeah.
poor people just spend it once and rich people spend it forever, right? That's the
Mm.
trick. So when you're doing it with manifestation, you are now spending it from theory and concept into reality. And then one day you'll have it and you just bang, you just spend it into existence. But by the time you've spent it into existence, the momentum of that flow is so strong that now it's pouring into everywhere else. So this is a primary mistake that people make with any kind of manifestation work. And
And
that's what
you know what got me? I put this off for years because I had somebody who kept saying, you got to do it, Emma, you got to do it. No, I'm not earning enough money. And back then I like earned 19 grand a year. He goes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're earning $5,000 a year. If you put these principles in, you'll double. And I just didn't understand it. I'm like, no, I'll do it once I'm rich. I'll do it once. No, do it when you're broke ass poor and you will become rich very, very quickly. Because my first year that I really manifested big money in my business, I earned 19,000, like 19,000 Australian dollars, not American, 19,000. Then it was 125 or 128,000. I spent that 128,000. I cannot tell you what I bought for it. The
yeah,
only
exactly.
thing I know is that I bought a $7,000 second hand, or like third hand caravan.
Yeah.
The rest of them I could not, and it makes me feel sick thinking about. I cannot tell you what I spent it on.
Yeah.
But then then I was like, okay, I've got to do this thing. Because I had a breakdown. I like crying my eyes out driving the car over the Westgate Bridge, going, "Oh, what am I doing with all this money?" And then I went to the bank and I opened up 9 bank accounts. And one was entertainment, one was handbags, by the way, and I always wanted a Louis Vuitton handbag, could never afford a Louis Vuitton handbag, mum, wife, kids, mortgage, all that, no way. And then within, I think it was 8 or 9 months, I bought my very first Louis Vuitton handbag. And very quickly after that, 2 Gucci handbags, not fake ones from Bali, by the way. These are the real deal, where they come in and they give you a nice cup of tea or a nice soda water or something with a little bit of lemon in it. It's the real deal. And it was very, very quick. And I had been manifesting very quickly ever since using that process. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to share that with everyone today. That's order.
That's order.
That's the perfect classic of order compared to chaos, where you just throw all your money in one account. Yeah, I've got the money. And then the next day it's like, oh, shit, I forgot about that. Or, oh, I don't have any money for this. And it's true because like Jason and I, we get people going, I am busting to come to Bali and do this. Well, why don't you come? I don't have the money. How do you not? How do you not have 3 grand when you're working Monday to Friday, 9 to 5? Why don't you have the money? Where
Yeah.
is it going? And they go, I actually don't know. Well, there's your problem.
Yeah.
There's your issue. You've got your money spending is chaos, and your intake of money is chaos. You just got, and I say, I bet you got one account. They go, yeah, don't do one account. Open up another account, just put retreat or healing. This is my therapy. I have an account that's just my therapy. And I put money into that, and that's how I pay for all my retreats, for me to heal, for me to get therapy and get change and stuff. So yeah, it's really good. Order and chaos. Perfect analogy of the money.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Just landing for me, by the way, while in real
Yeah.
time right now.
Yeah, but that's it. That's awesome. I
I'm
mean,
like
look,
sitting
the
going,
same.
oh.
Yeah, absolutely. I never stuck with one because I never had any money. And then I did, and I stuck with one for a long time, and it just huge change. And then I got on the other end of it, which is that I made that classic mistake, right? Which is that I had that much money coming in that it was inconvenient for me to track it all, and I was okay anyway. And that's when I got out of habit with it. I got out of habit with it, and then you turn around down the track and you go, I can't tell you where most of that money went,
Yep.
and
Yep.
then back on deck, you get it back up and running again. Then suddenly you go, I know where all the money is. It's astonishing and that's just money. Money, when it comes to manifestation, money is probably the easiest thing to manifest because it's just numbers, right?
Exactly.
The
And
easiest thing to
do you
learn.
know how invisible is money though? I was having
Yeah,
this conversation with the family. They're like, I just want so much cash. I went, no, you just want numbers. Because the money that I receive, say from clients, and it gets paid on the mortgage or goes to food or goes to travel, I don't actually handle that much. I don't take it out of the bank.
yeah, that's right.
It just gets transferred from this to that, to this, to that, to this, to that. And none of it has a dollar sign on it, by the way. If you notice that, it's just numbers.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing has, like in my apps, nothing has a dollar sign.
Yeah.
It's just a number. It's all invisible money.
That helps us to keep it flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you see a
Yeah.
dollar sign, you go, hang on a minute, this is money.
Yes.
This is my money.
Exactly.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah, exactly. That made me think of some marketing tools. Thanks, Jason.
Look,
Mm.
honestly, if we can leave anyone with anything on this one today, it's like real spontaneity, real creativity is where you see a holiday advertised at a really good price and you have always wanted to go and you just go click, click. Ah, I got the money for that. And you go, buy, done. That's
Yes.
spontaneity,
Yes.
right? Getting into a cycle of, I could never afford it and I have to let it go. Or, how am I ever going to pay for this? And now I've got
Mm.
buyer's remorse. It said, when you work out of that system like that, buyer's remorse is a concept that you remember vaguely. It
Mm.
said, it's just like, yeah, I remember when I used to have remorse because I was like, I shouldn't have bought that because now, what am I going to do to pay all these other bills? It
Mm.
said, when you got that order in place, it said, you got real spontaneity. You've got that's what freedom is, the ability for you to be in your own power, to make decisions about what matters to you. If you like something because it's meaningful to you,
Mm.
when you see it at the right time, you can take advantage of that opportunity. That is what spontaneity is for. So not otherwise you're creating chaos. You're just
Oh, that's a big
rolling
one,
from
isn't
one to
it?
the next. Yeah.
This is a
But yeah.
great podcast, if I may say so myself.
Well, we like it, so that's it. We're enjoying it.
Yeah, it's good. My gosh, guys, please reach out to us. We're soulalignedresults.com.au. That's a website. We're on Facebook. We're all over the place. I'm Emma Romano. You can always private message me. It's Jason Parks. Don't private message him because he won't answer you on Facebook because he's never on it. But I am. So private message me. And you can always email us. Let us know how you're going, how you're feeling, what's coming up for you, whether it feels ick and gross or it feels great or all the things. Let us know. And let us know if there's any topics you would like us to cover because we just want to serve. And we love hanging out. Jason and I love hanging out, having chats and just helping people. That's what we do. Thanks so much for listening to us. We will see you soon.
Thank you all.
Bye.